Have you ever seen these fun assortments of beads called bead soup? Maybe you have, and you've wondered what to do with them. They look like a lot of fun. They're always interesting with a nice variety of colors and sizes and shapes. But maybe you've thought, well, what would I do with that? In today's video, brought to you by allfreejewelrymaking.com and keepsakecrafts.net, I'll show you how to take a package of bead soup beads, a few simple supplies, a pendant that you like, and make yourself a necklace. To make this project, you will need, first of all, an assortment of bead soup beads. They're usually some seed beads and some larger ones in a variety of colors. You'll also need 2 3-inch pieces of chain, 2 bead caps, 2 2-inch pieces of wire, 3 jump rings, or 4 if you have small chain that you can't put your lobster claw through. You'll also need some crimps. You need 8, but it's good to have a few extras in case things don't go as planned. You'll need a pendant. I'm dithering between these two right now, so I'm going to wait till my strands are put together to decide. And you'll need some beading wire. For tools, you'll need the usual chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, wire cutters, crimping pliers, or you can use the chain nose, and something to clamp onto your bead stringing wire. These are wonderful. They're called bead bugs. They hold onto it, keep your beads from falling off. Or a pair of hemostats is great, especially if you have friends in the medical field. I've gone ahead and cut 4 20-inch pieces of beading wire, and I'm just going to add the clamp to one end, and I'm going to dump my beads out right onto this little mat. If that makes you nervous, or if you don't have a spot like this, another great item is one of these trays. It's got a plug here that pulls out so you can pour all the beads back into a container, and it keeps them from spilling. But I love this little mat because it's a little springy, and so I can just poke my wire down into my beads. And what's nice is you don't need a needle for these. Now the secret with these assortments is don't think. Don't worry about it, don't stress about it, don't try to plan a pattern. Just whatever bead your eye falls on next, grab it. If that one runs away, grab another one. Don't even think about it. So go ahead and string 4 16-inch strands of beads. After you've strung all your bead strands, now we'll make the hooks that they will hang on to make them into a necklace. And you just grab one of your pieces of wire with a pair of chain nose pliers, and we're going to make just a hook. Nothing real fancy. In fact, leave it kind of open, and repeat with the other one. Just like that. Then take one of the ends of your wire and slide on a crimp bead. It's one thing I like about this little spongy mat is it makes it easy to get little beads on. And then we can loop this around the hook and go back through the crimp bead. And actually, because I left the hook open, you just want to leave a bit of a loop. Not too big, not too small. Be about like that. And my preferred method of dealing with crimps is to use chain nose pliers, but you can use a crimping tool. But just get both wires so that they're lying flat side by side. And then flatten the crimp bead. Just like that. And of course you always want to check and make sure you've got it nice and strong. Repeat that for all 8 ends. Excuse me, for 4 of the ends. We'll go back and do the other 4 in a minute. So I've gone ahead and added a crimp bead to each of the 4 wires, trimmed off the excess, and then slid the little loops onto the hook, And now just take chain nose pliers and flatten that out. And then slide that hook right up into a bead cap. And this is a nice deep one, so this is great. And next, I'm going to make a loop right where the wire comes out of the bead cap by holding onto it with chain nose pliers. Bend at a 90-degree angle. Hold the bend with round nose pliers. Wrap. You can only get about that far. Reposition your round nose pliers and finish your wrap. And then trim off the wire right where they cross. Straighten out your loop. Make it nice and neat. And that's one end. And next it's a matter of sliding the beads all the way up to the other end and then adding a crimp bead at the end down here. Make sure you don't add it too tight. Leave just a little bit of slack in the beads, especially these are nice deep cones, so you can afford even more slack than usual. So you could leave a good 1/8 of an inch of slack. When you add your crimp bead this second time, run the excess under the beads. And then repeat, making the little loops and adding them onto the cone, the bead cap. Now you can see that I've repeated the procedure on the other side, adding a bead cap and a wire loop. And after looking at the beads all strung, I decided I wanted to use this glass bead as my pendant. So I strung it onto a head pin and added a few of the extra beads left over from the bead soup mix to accent it. Created a loop the same way we did here. And also found a nice big jump ring to attach that to one of the strands. I could attach it to all 4, but that would make them kind of stiff. So I'm just going to pick one and put it on there. And it depends on what you have for pendant, what kind of hanging loop it is. You might use a jump ring, you might have a different kind of bail. And you might try experimenting with attaching it to all 4. You might like that look. The final step is to add our pieces of chain with a jump ring to each of these loops. And then add a lobster clasp with a jump ring, and the necklace is all done. Here's another look at our project. I hope you enjoyed it, and that the next time you see a package of bead soup, you'll pick up one that suits your fancy and make yourself something special. So thank you so much for watching Keepsake Crafts videos. Be sure to check out keepsakecrafts.net for more jewelry making, crafting, sewing, and all kinds of creative ideas and inspiration. Have a good one. Bye-bye.